You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Battered Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 293 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
We are now days away from our first action, no?
Preseason.
Yes.
Days. Yes. I mean, we can
it's
get
something.
into that. We're going to get into that right now. It's cool that they're going to be playing, but I'm not that excited, honestly.
I'm
but
excited.
We'll get into that. But I'm more excited about the two individuals we have with us today. We have two guests joining us from the Inter Miami show. Branton, which I like, Mike, which I never agree with, but we have fun with them anyway. So let me bring them on screen right quick. The Inter Miami show. Mike and Branton, how are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm just here for Chris because Chris likes me. So I came here. He invited me on. Danny, I'm gonna put up with you, but I will agree with you. I'm not so excited yet. So I guess the first new way to start 2025. Kind of feeling your energy there, though, man.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm the same way. Branton, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just getting ready for preseason, which doesn't matter, as I like to say on our show. Who cares? But yeah, just excited to be here and talk shit with you guys.
It's fun to watch the team with the kids on the pitch again. It's definitely fun, but until it counts, it's not as fun. But we do have a rundown, as you can see in the middle of the screen, and we are going to jump straight into it. So today, training officially began. All the boys were out there. Messi, for some reason, is wearing a beanie when it's 75 degrees out. I'm not sure. Anybody that said that he wants to go back to Europe, if he's rocking a beanie in 75-degree weather, he doesn't want to go back to Europe. What did you guys think of what you saw from training camp? For the little bit, I don't know, pictures, comments. I have something that I thought about when I saw Javier Mascherano, but I'll let you guys talk first. And I'll start with Chris. Before we get on to the Miami show. Chris, what did you think about today's training session?
First of all, I'm feeling really disrespected here that you guys are completely overlooking preseason. This is the first time we're going to see Mascherano do anything. To me, the players doing stuff matters so much less than just seeing Mascherano in action, which I already said this to Danny that he's not going to unveil whatever planning he's planning or whatever. But it was nice to see them out on the pitch, Danny. It was nice.
That is nice. Mike, were you excited when you saw them on the pitch today?
I mean, I really appreciate that Inter Miami didn't just show pictures of Messi. Clicking through the pages and links. Leo Fonzo's on there, Noah's on there. It's nice to see that they're highlighting that we actually have more than 4 players on the team. I saw someone call on Twitter that I do like the new training tops. We got rid of the gray and now we're going with the white. I think it looks better.
I hate the polka dot.
Yeah. It's better. It's better than an XBTO. So or whatever,
Yeah,
some
that's
of the
true.
other stuff we've had on there. So yeah, no, I think it's good. I'm excited to see the guys out there, see them looking good. A lot of players that we had injured at the end of last year, we're starting to see back on the training pitch. I know Ian Frey was out there today. So these are all good things. So I think it's a little bit to be happy about.
Branton, the floor is yours.
Listen, I agree. Well, it's hard to talk so much when you've got someone who likes to talk as your co-host. But those mic rants are real. But no, I'm just excited to see the guys back out on the pitch. I mean, it kind of feels like it was just yesterday that we were playing games, and now here we are. coming back, and the key thing I wanted to see today, and I'm glad I saw it, is I wanted to see, you know, Messi, Boosie, Suarez. I wanted to see those guys out there on the pitch. I wanted to make sure they were showing up for day one, because sometimes, like, you know, sometimes like stars come in a day late. They come in a couple days late. They've got vacations. No, these guys came in. They're ready to play. I'm excited. And I do love the white kit. The white training kit is nice. It's probably the best kit we put out this year.
I love the original white with the herons imprinted into the kit. Henry here is asking, "Hi guys."
No, I'm showing that kit off real quick. The reason why I had it was it's a 9/11 kit. It's a game worn 9/11 kit from the 20th anniversary. So that's why that one is the framed one, is because it's a kind of like a super cool tribute and to the New Yorkers here. Cool. Like that's a special jersey that I will never part with.
Whose game worn jersey is it?
Guerreri. He was sitting on the practice. He was sitting on the sideline wearing it. But don't take that away from me.
Still game worn. What are you doing, Danny?
Yeah, like why you gotta mess with him?
Does it count as game worn if he didn't play in the game?
Technically, yes.
Worn. Bench worn. To be fair, I have one. I have a Robbie Robinson 9/11 kit too, but I don't know which one's worse. Okay.
All right.
But that's the answer to the question. That's the one I keep it up there.
Henry, if they they haven't signed any defenders officially yet. We keep getting linked to a couple of them. Lujan is the one that's most likely, but nobody officially just quite yet. All right.
I do have images. I do have images here of the practicing, right? So, like, for example,
and these putting in some work. All right.
So we got images of Robert Taylor balling up Ryan Saylor. Right.
That's not Ryan
Saylor. Yeah, it is, dude. Who else is that?
It's not Ryan Saylor.
Who is that?
That's not Ryan Saylor.
Is that a Rando Bando? Who is that? Branton, who do you think that guy? That's Saylor, no?
That is not Saylor.
No, that's definitely Saylor.
Who is he then?
Nope. Yeah. I take that back.
You know who that
on
is?
Their website.
That's Stranger. That might be Stranger Things.
No,
so he grew facial hair and dyed
actually
his hair dark?
Saylor does. So there's a picture of Saylor from the medical exams. He does have facial hair, but I just think he has a beard now, so it might be Saylor.
Okay.
Sorry, we doubted you, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, look at another image of Alba and a bunch of young bucks and Redondo. So there's that cool image.
I will say, who's the dude at the end of this? Because I was looking at this picture, I didn't know who it was.
I think that's Tyler Hall. And the kid from FIU, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the FIU kid.
Oh, the draft pick, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because they did have Stranger Things guy that he was also getting checked out and practicing today.
Bailey.
Maybe. I don't know.
I forgot his last name, but his first name is Bailey.
Here we have some sticks. Yeah, come on, Danny. I told you I was cooking. We got pictures of Messi walking around sticks and Luis Suarez already blasting his knees away. Those are nice. And then I think this was the picture that you maybe were referring to there, Mike, with Fafa and Messi, maybe. I don't know if this is it.
I think it was Branton saying it, but he looks cold. I don't think he's going back. There was someone said
he's not going back to Europe.
He's not going north of like Atlanta.
No. and then I got this last picture here of Mascherano with the guns out, suns out, guns out. I mean, that's him calling a play.
No, I
think he's singing.
Well, I will say there's one thing that I took from today, and I'm the first one that tells you I'm not into press conferences. I don't like player interviews. I'm not a big fan of coach interviews. I don't like any of that stuff. But I did listen to Mascherano speak, and one thing that I took away is, and what sold me on him, because I kind of like this, is that he was answering questions in both English and Spanish. And maybe that's not a big deal, but the fact that it was broken English, he owned it and said he's not shy about it. He's going to try to tough through it. And I can't remember what word it was that he said, but he said it incorrectly. He asked them if it was correct. They corrected him. And he said, okay. And then he just kept going. Like, I really like his confidence. He is not worried about messing up when he speaks in English. I really enjoyed watching that part. Again, it's not a big deal, but I thought that told me a lot about his personality. And it made it, I don't know, it made me like him a little more. So we'll see how things go. Obviously, it has nothing to do with on the pitch, but personality, Tata never even tried. And he speaks English. Tata can speak it. He didn't even try. I really liked it. And I really liked the fact that he owned it. He said, look, my English isn't great, but I'm not shy. I'm going to truck through and I'm going to try anyway. I was like, okay, I can respect that. So that's the one thing that I took out of today.
I mean, I'll throw out there. We said on our show last week, like this is a real opportunity for him to really show off, like, hey, I can coach here and really be a launch pad for other jobs 2-3 years down the line. So I think that's all part of that interview, like that interview process of like, I'm going to speak English. I'm going to speak Spanish. You know, you put me in La Liga, Italy, Italia, and I'm going to speak Spanish. I'll learn Italian, just like Italian. Yeah, like showing that ability is really important part of a coaching pedigree. So, okay, good for him. He's taking it seriously. He's here to use this as the launching pad. It can be for him if he's successful here.
Look, what that said to me was confidence. Yeah. I felt like that was just straight confidence, and you to manage this team and this roster, you need some of that. And like I said, it's not a big deal, but it did make me feel a little more optimistic about his personality and where we're going this season. So, but starting off on Friday, the American Tour. Now, Mike and I went back and forth about the World Tour last year quite a bit. He thought it was a disaster, but he thought that it meant that it was going to derail the rest of the season. I mean, the season didn't go as planned, but it definitely wasn't because of the preseason. But what do you guys think of the American Tour? I mean, we're not staying put, but we're traveling to the Americas. We start in Vegas against America, then we go to Peru? Then I forgot where else we're going.
Panama
and Honduras.
So, and then we end here at Raymond James Stadium. How are you guys feeling about the America Tour? The fact that we didn't stay local, even though when you really think about it, if you travel to the West Coast or Seattle, it's probably more travel than this anyway.
I personally love it. The only thing I hate is that we're playing Orlando City. Yeah, I'm tired. I think that game in Raymond James Stadium for preseason is kind of dumb, especially with the way they have it priced. But I love every other game. I think, the Club America game is a great game to get exposure for the team and kind of future planning for a post, superstar era or next superstar era. And then the other games I love because it kind of gets you ready for traveling for CCC, like playing in other countries, like getting used to traveling with Messi in those countries. Because in the World Tour last year, like we were traveling to like big cities and things like that. And not that we're not doing that this year, but we're traveling to cities that we could potentially go to in CCC if we make it through a couple rounds. So I love it. I like that it's local-ish. Like it's not, we're jumping 8 different time zones and, jumping a time zone every game. Like this is good. And I think if we want to grow in the future as a team and an organization, I think Central and South America is where you do that, and playing these games really helps spread the brand. So I love it.
Mike?
Yeah, no, I actually agree with everything everyone's saying. I think this is a great way to do travel, to build camaraderie without flying 24,000 miles. I don't like this Orlando-Tampa game on Friday Valentine's Day. There's no part of that match that makes any sense to me.
Mike, can I ask you a question? If you were to try to set up a worse date and a worst opponent in a worst place, could you? Because I feel like it takes effort to find a worst opponent for a preseason game on a worst date in a worse location. Like it's serious effort to be this bad.
I'll give it. I think if they put it in Jacksonville, it actually would have been worse. But that's the only way I can even make it worse. Like it makes absolutely no sense. You put it, put this game up in New York City, put this game up in somewhere in Texas where you can pull in more people. You're not we already have so many people have driven 4 hours from Tampa to see Messi play. Are they really going to pay these prices? So I think it's horrible. But everything else I like. I think this is the kind of match that helps prep you for CCC. We did not get enough of those type of matches last year. My biggest issue is, and kind of what I felt last year, and now I know better even, is we're not going to have a complete roster until probably February 14th. So how much are we really going to see of Mascherano's coaching? How much are we going to really see the team? At least this one just doesn't feel like just a giant money grab, except for the February 14th one. At least this feels like we're trying to get something out of it, versus last year just felt like money grab, money grab, money grab, money grab.
Chris, what do you think about the tour?
Well, I like the tour. I love the fact that we're having a preseason against a variety of teams, right? And in a variety of locations. It's like you said, Danny, like a West Coast trip, I guess, would have been sort of the same sort of travel, I guess.
Technically going out to Vegas, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think that this is a really good schedule. I don't like the 29th to the 2nd. That seems a little crunched together. What is that? That's got to be like what, a 4-day span. I was just talking, Mike. It's funny you mentioned about having a full team or not seeing Mascherano. I was talking to Danny a little bit earlier today. We're still sitting on a lot of money, and we got a lot of open spaces left. So I'm kind of wondering what the hell's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And it's a good question that you kind of propose. Like, are we looking to fill this team as soon as possible, or is this going to be like crunch time when we do this? Because do we want to go to Tampa and play against Orlando, I guess, with a full studded squad, or are we going to wait?
Well, so I feel like this is the time to ask the question. So I think all of us saw the announcement today that MLS just introduced this new thing that you can just buy players with straight up cash. I was reading all about this today, and my first thought was, hey, we've been wondering, where are the Miami deals? Where have our trades been? And it has been happening. Is it possible that we were waiting for this announcement and we're one of the teams that are planning to go spend money to go buy some players? So I kind of am hoping the answer is yes. And that, Chris, to answer your question is, yeah, by the time we even get to the 29th, there will be 1 or 2 more players because we just straight up spent the cash on them.
But remember, that's just to buy within the MLS.
Yeah.
So, but
go get Lucho, man.
I like that idea.
We haven't
like
heard
Cabana money.
We haven't heard any rumors about any MLS links. That Fafa thing came out of left field, but
there was no even rumors about any of this. Like this announcement today, I never heard a single rumor speculative that there was some new deal thing coming from us. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers that something's been in the works for a while. We just haven't heard it.
I think somebody on the Inter Miami show last week did say that the lack of activity could be because we're seeing roster and rule changes. I don't remember who it was, but I think he's handsome.
Yeah, he is handsome. Real nice beard. But I don't think you expected this announcement today.
No,
this wasn't the announcement you
bigger.
expected.
Well, I don't know. I something needs to give, because, like Chris said, a lot of nothing's happening. A lot of rumors. Yeah. We've been linked, and to the point where Fabrizio's even announcing that deals are done, and that's it. It kind of just goes to bed afterwards. We have no idea what's really going on. But as far as the preseason goes, the one thing I am interested in is, because whether he has his players or not, Mascherano is going to put his tactics out there. You're going to find out how aggressive he is if he's playing a high line, because he needs to get his players ready to play that. And I'm curious to see kind of what he plays with or what he experiments with, because he's probably experimenting also. Because Data last year came out with 5 in the back. That's the first time we saw Noah Allen at center back. Ooh. So you might see a couple things that Mascherano's kind of playing with in the first couple preseason games.
And Danny, I was about to disagree with you, but actually what you said at the end, I agreed the most with. I don't think we're going to see what he's really going to do, because I think we're going to see experimentation the same way Tata did, where it was 4-man back line, 5-man back line, Noah as a center back, which turned out to be the way we basically finished and should have finished the last game. So I don't expect to see much. I basically just expect us to see us wearing the worst jersey ever in Inter Miami history quite a bit for the next few games.
The 2 worst jerseys, I think.
we're gonna get into that. And V Vega, we should have a joint podcast with Tack. We actually did a preview show. Was it last season or the season before with Tack?
It was
for
about
Orlando.
2 seasons ago. Yeah.
With Tack. But he doesn't really talk Orlando. I don't know how big of an Orlando fan he is. He's
a very critical fan of Orlando. Like,
because
I don't even want to say fan.
I mean, I don't know if he has out there that he well, whatever. But all right.
I mean, he's critical. He's very critical.
Yeah. But there's a reason
of everything.
But I don't remember if he disclosed why he's critical while we were recording or not. So I'm not gonna put it out there. All right. Drake or Ustadi. So we don't have many official signings yet, but one that we did get was Ustadi, and we needed to, right? Because we're playing a game on Friday and we literally have no keepers. So now the question is up in the air. If these are the two keepers for now, right? And there's other rumors of other keepers, but as of right now, these are the only two keepers we officially have. Who do you think we're rolling out with as a starter once the games count? Or who do you want?
That's got to be the easiest question to answer. Like, if anybody's
saying,
it is. If anybody's saying Ustadi, you're drunk, right? Like, Drake is. I mean, Skrilla, you are on your rocker right now, my friend. Like, Drake is the guy. Like, Ustadi literally is only coming so that way we don't have Robert Taylor in between the sticks. That's the only position he hasn't played, to be honest. Robert Taylor. I was kind of looking forward to that.
And One World One Goal said that Franco upset Drake with that question today. I did hear Franco ask him that question, what he thought about all the rumors of these foreign keepers coming in, and all Drake said was,
"Can I
go for it?
Can I be the asshole?
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's more open than everyone. I think it's more open than people want to believe it is. I think this is more of a competition to be starting keeper than just it's automatically Drake's.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I don't think that Drake's a shoe-in.
I don't think either one of these guys are on the roster in a couple months.
Okay.
I think they're both probably.
Oh my God, we are all over the place. I mean, I didn't say that hands down that he's the better goalkeeper. I'm just saying between him and Ustadi.
Well, that's who you go with between those two, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you do. Right now, Drake has shown, and I love Drake. Like, Drake jersey sitting right there. Drake has shown liability. Drake has shown an ineffectiveness working with the Barca 4. You give Ustari a chance in the couple of preseason matches. You got it in the first one because Drake's with the U.S. men's national team, and if it works, you roll with him. I don't know if I like that personally, but if he can play out of the back and actually be more of a backline like director, and can stop some shots, I think it's a legitimate play. I do agree, Branton, that I think we'll see a third keeper come in that upsets all this, but I don't think it's Drake's spot to lose right now. I think it's a legit 50-50, and preseason will have an impact.
I think this comment's spot on, by the way. Go ahead, Brenton.
No, I was going to say, I don't think Drake plays in Mascherano's system. Mascherano's a guy who wants to keep possession, who likes playing out of the back a little bit. He likes his defense and goalkeeper to be active in the game, and we've seen that's where Drake struggles. Drake is not good with his feet. He's not a good distributor, and I think Drake's value within the league is probably at an all-time high. I think we could flip Drake get a nice return for him, and then end up bringing in another two goalkeepers would be my guess. You probably keep Ustari, either as backup or third stringer or as competition for whoever you think your new number one is. But I feel like I feel like we're at the point now with Drake that, like, I think he's a good goalkeeper, but I don't think he fits the system, and I don't know that he wants to be in this system. And I think it's a good time to split. And it's best for both parties to go their own ways. Let Drake go to a system that works for his skill set and show what he can do, because I think he can be a good goalkeeper. He can be a starter in this league for any team, I think, just about. But that's my opinion. I don't have anything that says that's going to happen, but I do feel like, it's probably time to find a keeper that fits the system.
When I think of Ustadi, I think of an old veteran. I think somebody said it on the comments actually. An old veteran. Like he is the prototypical backup keeper. I can't imagine him being the keeper the entire season. Like I just I don't know. Like I do not think, and I've been saying it from the start, I don't think Drake is the starter when the season starts. But as of right now, if it's just between him and Ustadi, even though I think Ustadi might end up winning it if it's just between them two, because Mascherano might want him more, I would prefer Drake. He's a known shot stopper.
I think that the comment by Stancy was rock solid. He needs some sort of solid competition. Since Marsman was shipped out, he's had no worry on losing his position. CJ Dos Santos.
He just let shots in?
Well, no. I mean, obviously, he's not like, oh, I'm just going to let shots in because I own this position.
So what does it matter?
But, like, why do you think that during the – yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
No, sorry, Chris. You're absolutely. I think you're right. I think you guys are right on this, because while it doesn't mean Drake's letting shots in, it does mean that Drake's like, okay, no one's here to take my spot. Maybe I won't work on my footwork. Maybe I'll focus on, other things. And so, I do think if you have somebody who's really pushing you for your job, like, you're going to put in extra effort on your weaknesses. And I feel like that's probably not what Drake's doing, because when Drake was at his best for Inter Miami was after he had that howler of a preseason where we were all like, who is this guy? Get him off the team. Marsman needs to be the starter. Marsman goes down and boom, Drake is lights out and carries us that season. Drake is at his best when he's challenged. And Chris is right. He's not challenged right now. Maybe Ustari takes it because he's a better system fit, but Ustari is not a better goalkeeper than Drake.
Ustari's definitely played in bigger games. I don't know if he was a
like
starter.
60, of course he has.
Yeah, I know, but he was on the national team for Argentina back in
played the first Champions League,
2006. Like I don't know if he was the starter, but like he has experience. So I mean, on that side, I'm sure that Mascherano leans towards him anyway. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm partial to Drake, man. I think that you should give him a chance, but they might not. And I always thought that they wouldn't, but that's because I thought somebody else would come in. Because Ustadi's the only one that's come in, I don't know.
I thought Drake would have been traded by now. Like, I am absolutely shocked he's even still on the roster.
I thought he would end up in San Diego.
That's what I've been saying.
Still could.
Okay. Danny, are we, like, what's wrong in 2025? I'm agreeing with you, like, every comment, but I thought the same thing. I thought he'd end up in San Diego. He was he loved California. He seemed like a great option for that team. I'm going to throw out here again, rule changes were coming, and maybe there's a thought process that someone's going to pay straight up cash for him.
Maybe. We need to bring somebody else in, though. Somebody else needs to come in, and that's what I'm waiting for. But like you said, with this whole cash thing, maybe that does make a difference. So
I think I think honestly that Dos Santos was his closest competition. Ustadi wasn't going to compete with him. I think it was between him and Dos Santos. And what ended up happening.
You think that Ustadi is?
Well, I mean, I don't think Ustadi is. I think that by default he's like competing with him, but he's not going to win out on any sort of competition. Like
that's why I agree with Mike. I think Ustadi might. If it's just, and I think there'll be a third keeper at some point. But if it's just Ustadi and Drake, I think Mike's right. I think Ustadi could take that job.
He's more likely. Branson said it. He's more of a system guy.
I think if we were going to keep both of these goalkeepers and we just needed a third goalkeeper, we would have drafted one.
Yeah,
there were keepers in the draft that would have come cheap. Year. Right, but now he's gone. So I think we probably would have drafted one to get us through the season if we were planning to keep these two. But because I really don't think we're planning on keeping these two, I think that's why we're saving money in a roster spot for someone who's going to be a senior keeper and not like a emergency backup.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we all somehow agree. And I think we all agree that we don't think Drake's going to end up being the starter this season, unfortunately. And I love Drake. And I'm still – and shout out to Pablo that sent me the link for that Drake kit because I want to get that Drake kit. I got love for Drake. All right, but confirmed signings: Ustadi, even though somebody said that it's still processing, so he wasn't at training today, and Fafa. Now I know that I heard you guys last week talking about Fafa because he's a Fort Lauderdale striker and all that other good stuff. How are you guys feeling about Fafa, Pico? Do you think that there's a chance, even a small chance, that he starts? Brandon?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be a starter. Maybe if we ship Gressel out, I could see him maybe filling Gressel's role and doing it deeper. Because I think that's the move. I don't think Gressel is going to be here either. He's another one I think is going to be out, and I could see Fafa taking that spot. But I do think at this point in his career, Fafa is probably better off coming off the bench and being that difference maker late in games, and then playing like as a spot starter. But yeah, I think I love the signing personally. I love it because it gives us another it gives us like a South Florida guy, native. And you know, having a Haitian senior national team player on the team is huge. Mike V, I love the quotes. But yeah, no, and you know, you kind of said it and I said it on the show. It's cool to see like a guy who played for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers playing for Inter Miami at the site of Lockhart Stadium. Is kind of cool to kind of see it come full circle. But yeah, I love the signing. I don't think anybody should expect him to be, you know, in the race for Golden Boot or, you know, going to be every game starter. I don't think. But that's just my thoughts.
Mike.
So I'm gonna say what I said last time, which is if he came super cheap, I'm all for it. If we paid real money, if we're paying real money for him, if he's pulling GAM from players we really need to sign and you know, defenders or keepers, I'm not a biggest fan. My assumption is he's playing for basically nothing, like $150,000, $200,000.
No way is that low.
I don't see him as a $600,000 player. He wanted to come back to South Florida. You know, I'm sure he called us. I'm sure we did not call him. Like he doesn't.
That's true. I think we called him.
Yeah.
No, you don't think that smells like a Chris Henderson deal? Like that he left that on his desk before he went to Atlanta.
No, I think his agents are like, hey, Fafa wants to come back. He wants to come back to South Florida. He wants to come back to the community. He doesn't look at all like any other player we are even talking to, being linked to. He's an odd man out. I just think he came and said, hey, I'll take a 40% cut of my salary. I'm coming back to South Florida. And if that's true, I think it's a great deal. If we're paying league rate for him, I'm not as big a fan of this move.
Last year, 2 years ago, he made $650,000. Last year, he made $670,000. No way he's taking a $500,000 cut to come back home. Like you could love home as much as you want.
I'll call
$500,000. No way.
Anything more than 300, and I'm kind of questioning if this was a smart deal.
Why?
I'll tell you,
he's a good backup.
Because we already have Robbie Taylor. Like we have players who play this position. Why are we going and pulling another guy over?
But this team is going to play more games in one season than Inter Miami has ever played before. We need the players, and we need players like this who can run, who can spread the field. And even if he costs $400,000 or $500,000,
but we've got
doesn't
young
matter.
Guns.
We're rolling in the Campana money.
Yeah, but we've got young guns already. Like Leo Fonzo's back to also play this. We've got multiple people that can play this role.
But you don't compete for CCC or Club World Cup or games like that starting Leo Afonso. You need a guy like Fafa.
I don't see him starting Fafa either.
But we also have Benjamin Kramaki. We also have David Ruiz. They could essentially play sort of the same
like a left wing
positions.
I think you do have those players, but I think, and I said this on our show, what we lost with Rojas is that player who's going to take the shot and not pass it off to Messi. Because Chris, you and I said it all last season. Benja passes to Messi every time he has an open shot. He has an open shot for goal, he passes it to Messi. Fafa is not going to be that guy. And we need guys like that to be around Messi who know how to play in big moments and play with big
I
players.
I struggle last year. We got rid of Yedlin because he had a $600,000 salary, and now we're going to bring in Fafa on a $600,000 salary. Like it had to be a cut.
Yeah, but
I
have a
You'll
question
feel
for you,
better
Mike.
when Gressel's gone.
Mike, if I gave you the option to trade straight up, Christoph or Fafa, would you do it?
Oh my God! In a heartbeat. What?
I mean, the way we've gone through wait, hold on. We still had wings at the end of the last season. We had no defenders left on the roster. I don't know if I'm going to say yes to this.
Okay, because essentially,
I get what you're saying, right? Like, I understand the
800,000?
concept.
So like the money,
Right,
like you're getting
Christoph
for a lot
was
less than
overpaid.
what you got Christoph for.
No, I agree. Christoph was overpaid. We had to get rid of him of salary, but I just don't think we needed another attacking player on the left-hand side when we've got a whole list of them at $600,000. Because at the end of the day, this still is a salary cap league. There's a limit to how much money we have.
Is there a chance that we don't play with wingers next year?
No way, dude.
We play with wing backs.
I could see it.
Maybe
It's
Fafa
not
will be playing in the
impossible.
midfield. I don't know what.
But we have midfielders.
What exactly this guy? Yeah, of course we need midfielders. But I'm just saying, like, no, you know what? What I just said makes even less sense because then we're just building up a position that we're not going to even use. So forget what I just said.
That's my struggle with this at $600,000. And that's where I really want to see what we paid for him. We're going to pay, not paid for him, but what we're paying him. If we're taking him at a discount, I'm totally on this deal. If we're paying the $600,000, I just don't see it.
I'll tell you this much. I like the viewpoint that Branton had, though, because I never considered that Fafa could potentially play the right midfield side where Gressel typically plays. I mean, Gressel wasn't playing that well from that side anyways. So it would be sort of beneficial for him to play on that side, Fafa, right? I mean, what's this guy? Cello was worthless going up offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, if Fafa can play right back, I might.
He was worthless. I mean, going up offensively, he was worthless. Now, Robbie Taylor is
your
another
hate for Cello
player.
needs to be studied. I don't get it.
And Robbie Taylor, just so you know, just like how Brenton mentioned, he mentioned that Messi needs players around him that are willing to strike the ball like Matias Rojas. Robbie Taylor's another player that does that too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take him off the pitch and you're going to bring in Fafa, who's just going to run and gun down the edge. It's actually, I think it would be nice to have Taylor on the left and Fafa over in the right mid.
And then keep Messi on the bench?
No, he'll play like a right wing. He plays the Messi position. I mean, what position does he play? He walks around and finds gaps in on the pitch.
So I don't know if you guys heard anything about Farias, because I hear he's not with us. All of a sudden, he's in training today. Mascherano said while he's here, he's going to train with us, which sounds to me like, okay, we're just waiting for him to go. So, yeah, so he's gone, I think. I mean, not officially, but I'm pretty sure he's gone. Do you think that there's any chance that Farias stays? Because if he doesn't stay, then all of a sudden we have an opening at left wing.
I don't think he stays.
We have Taylor at left wing.
We have Taylor.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you hating Taylor? Get out with your questions.
I want Robert Taylor.
Harder.
No, I want Robert Taylor. I want Drake Callender. I like these players, but I'm sorry, nobody's looking at Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor's had plenty of opportunities on this team with all the injuries.
You're going to campana him. You're going to campana him now.
And nobody trusted him to start. So do you really think
not
he's just
nobody? You can
now?
say his name. He's gone now. Tata did not trust him to start.
No, I'm sorry. If Messi wanted him starting, he'd be starting.
I just gotta say, to see all you hate on Danny, like I usually get hate on, it's weird to be on the other side of this. I'm kind of enjoying it though.
Happens all the time.
I would agree.
Robert Taylor.
Remember, Taylor was great the first season with Messi. He was scoring goals left and right, and then
to me, this is a dream. This is a dream.
Tata put him on the bench and just wouldn't take him off. I think that's another concern. Is Mascherano going to even play Fafa or just say, nope, I don't want him playing. Don't know why you got him for me in the first place.
Robert Taylor at left wing? I would love that.
I'm going to keep on saying, let's see how much we paid for it before you get my feelings on this. But I feel like we have a plethora of these players. Let's go. Where are the defenders? Where are the defensive signings that everyone's expecting?
Mike, weren't you the one who said all last season you win with offense? You got to outscore them. So we're going to go with 0 at the back.
Yeah, but we're getting Neymar in July, so I'm kind of relaxing on that a little bit.
It's like I mentioned to Danny, like it's a weird situation to be in. I feel like we have 1,000 wingers. Like I feel like we have like Leo Alfonso, he's a winger that can come in, I guess, and spare minutes for other players, be somewhat effective. We have like a ton of wingers is what it feels like. I think we're pretty solid.
I think we're stacked in the midfield. And I think that Bright's going to be the odd man left out, which I hate to hear because I think Yannick Bright was awesome, but I really don't think he's going to be a starter.
What do you guys think? Like the lack of, like we've been linked to, I think 2 center backs, but I don't know that any of them are like going to be instant starters. What do you think about Boosie moving to center back? Like,
I would love that.
Do you think that's like the plan for this season? Because to your point, like we're stacked in midfield and like you want Yannick Bright on the field and you want Boosie on the field, but I think Boosie might be more effective like as a center back. For
that thought has crossed my mind quite a bit. Now that you bring that up, because I've thought that Yannick Bright and Redondo as that double pivot would be beautiful.
Love it. Yeah.
But you would need to move Busquets to center back in that case. And I've thought about it, but I don't know. Putting Busquets at center back for the entire season, I don't know if they'd go that route. I would like it though. I thought that he did decent there. If you're changing up, look, everybody, and I've said it on here, and Mike just kind of touched on it. I've said it a bunch of times. I don't think the defense is as bad as everybody says, MLS standards wise. I don't think that they're as bad as everybody says. I think that the tactics were bad. The fact that we were pushing up that high with Busquets being the man that has to recover isn't a good idea. The fact that we're getting caught on the counter attack when Jordi Alba is basically hugging the other goalkeeper, like it obviously it's going to work against us. If you fix the tactics, Toto Aviles, yes, boneheaded plays, I get it, but I thought he showed a lot of potential whenever he wasn't making those boneheaded plays. I think that this team, their defense isn't as bad as everybody thinks, and I think that they'll be fine if Mascherano can change some things around. Now, Busquets playing center back, I love that idea. I've thought about that. I just don't think they'd go that route.
I think that only works, Danny, though, if Noah stays as a center back, because otherwise I don't think we have enough center backs with speed to even, if we're saying we need 14 left wingers, we only have, 4 center backs on the roster right now. Aviles, Noah, Sailor,
Busquets, technically.
Busquets, if he is one who's a slow center back. I still think we need more signings. I agree with you at the end of the day. Like, I don't think we need to have the greatest defense if we can actually just score goals. But I do think some signings are needed, and we can't play a high line if we're going to count on Busquets recovering, because I'm going to guess he did not get faster in the offseason. Just going to throw that out.
I think that's a good guess.
That's a good guess. Solid.
You mean
Martinez
between those sticks didn't help him?
Yeah. And that's also assuming that Noah stays as a center back.
No, I think he's the backup left back now. Now that Negri's gone.
That's right, because Negri's gone. So Noah's probably now a left back again. So it means he's not a center back. So we're down another center back.
You're getting rid of Farias. Maybe Alba's moving to left wing, and we're putting Noah at left back.
Nah, I mean that's interesting, but I don't think so.
That's not crazy for the record. But the problem I
think we see that late in games. Honestly, I think we see that late in games. Push Alba up and put Noah in the back.
Brant, I'll say my concern with that is if you do that, then you have 3 guys who refuse to play defense. And when we're defending, it's going to be 7 on 10.
I don't think I seriously don't think that we start games like that, but I do see us, like if we're chasing a goal, I do see us going to that late in games.
We have, yeah.
I don't think that people are taking into account how much we're going to miss Diego Gomez. Because Diego Gomez at that left wing position towards the end of the year gave us so much defensively. If we put a left winger that plays like a true left winger that doesn't contribute on the defense much, we're going to suffer a lot more than we did last year, because we're going to be defending, like you said, with 7? So I think Diego Gomez covered up a lot of the lack of effort defensively from Suarez and Messi and even Gressel sometimes.
So in chat, Florida Man has a good thing. Frey at center back is the way to go. It absolutely is. And there have been reports that he is going to be ready like very early into this season.
Beautiful.
So obviously, like Ian Frey is the one to have a center back, but you don't know how that's gonna go for long.
Ooh, Mike is locked in.
That's what you said. The last thing is, I love Frey. I want him to be nothing but successful. But are you going to bet the season on Frey staying healthy?
No,
and I don't think
unfortunately.
No. But you actually have a coach who's played center back and knows how to handle injuries. So make substitutions as well, unlike our previous coach.
No, and
but you don't know that. You don't know that,
players to the wind.
And this is me just throwing something without any knowledge at all, because I'm just gonna spitball this, and you guys call me an idiot if you want, because I probably am. But I would assume that playing center back, you might risk getting injured a little less than playing right back, because I think with right back, you push up and down so much. With center back, you're kind of just covering one position. Again, that might be something that I just randomly just created, and it's a dumb opinion, but I would assume that maybe center back would be a little safer to play coming off of an injury than right back.
No, I think you're right, especially because Frey was so far in the attack when he was playing right back, and then he'd be the only one tracking back to cover for Kristoff and Boosie.
Yeah, I love Frey, man. I hope he gets better.
He's the best.
Yeah, man. All right, rumored signings. Chris, any rumored signings that got you excited that aren't official yet, and we don't know if we're actually going to get them, but you're like, maybe, let's hope so? Anything get you excited?
No, none of them. They're all common cards on FIFA. They're all bronze or maybe silver.
Not even Telasco?
No. I mean, look, Telasco, we went over him. Like, he sounds a little sexier after kind of looking into the information, right? But aside from that, he's not like, I need that signing in my life.
So for you, it's big name or go home.
Well, it's not big name, but don't give me these bronze guys. What are we doing?
Dude, nobody that's on FIFA considered a gold is coming to the MLS, my guy.
Don't give me a bronze guy. Give me a silver, please, at the minimum.
Well, I'll give you the name. I'll give you the name that the rumor started today about that I'm excited for, and Branton's already said it.
I'm gonna go
Lucho Costa. Costa coming to Miami.
No,
what?
That's my theory. I'm on this train as of today.
Listen, I don't just throw out names just to throw out names. If there's not a little smoke,
makes so much sense.
But then why would we not get James then?
Well, first, Lucho's probably better than James at this point.
Yes, in his career, and he's younger, but
young. I didn't want to look Lucho, maybe because of the Messi thing, but Lucho said it at the end of the season. He wants to leave Cincinnati because he wants to go back to Argentina. Yeah, I understand that people are considering Miami.
Everyone on our team is from Argentina.
I get
it.
In. So I get that this is basically Argentina 2.0 in a sense. But supposedly he wants to live in Argentina, right? He has some marital issues that he's trying to fix or whatever. So he wants to go back to Argentina.
Yeah, but tell the wife to come hang out in Miami. She can hang.
He's
with
having
Messi's
issues.
Wife.
Well, maybe that's
it kind of screams of like Reynoso issues. Like, you remember where he was having problems with his wife and he didn't go back to Minnesota?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a thing.
So all I'm gonna say is Moss has made it clear money is no object. He said that recently. All of a sudden, we have this new concept where you can just buy a player outright for cash. Lucho wants out of Cincinnati. I know I was just saying we don't need necessarily more attacking players, but we have an open DP slot. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it gives us another a true number 10 when Messi's injured, which will eventually happen 4 games into the season. So it fits everything we need for a successful season.
I was gonna ask Don Cafecito. I saw he said James over Lucho. I'm with you, right? But on this Inter Miami team,
he's gonna be cheaper for sure.
He might not be on this Inter Miami team. If you could pick one of the two, and guaranteed, you just pick one, and he's on the team. You're telling me you would get James over Lucho or Steve Munoz? I wouldn't. I'd go Lucho.
Dude, there's no way there's no way you can tell me that James is not going to come here for the cheap. He's barely getting playing time at the club that he's in as we speak.
No, he already signed with Leon. He's already in Liga MX. He already has little dancing videos with his kid on and stuff. So he's a done deal. But okay, so Lucho Acosta, that would be interesting. I don't see it. I have a feeling that you guys also think that Gressler's gone. Pogba, I haven't heard any rumors about him going absolutely anywhere.
I would just say that
we got a Branson Banger.
Pogba has been in Miami for quite some time, and I'd say it's about 50-50 if he ends up here. Is my opinion on him.
No, I think maybe. I don't see it, but maybe. Look,
Amanda Di Maria for sure.
Yeah, I know everybody
that
keeps
solve
telling
all
me
our problems.
that Di Maria is cooking in Benfica, so he still got it going. All right,
like we heard, Coco Jean's available. You can get him in the bargain bin.
I think he's gonna end up in Atlanta.
All right, so as we wind down here, you see the Atlanta's Chris Henderson masterclass paying, what was it? How much is it? 18 million for I forgot the guy's name. Latte from the Champions League over there in England.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Henderson masterclass. All right, so Brenton, 2025 outlook. How are you feeling about this season coming up as we wind down the show?
I mean, you have Messi on the roster. You have to feel good. Like, things are happening. Club's getting good exposure. It looks like the club is moving in one direction now, where I think maybe last season it was a little bit split. I'm feeling optimistic. But there's a huge caveat because we really don't know what half of this roster looks like. So, depending on if we bring in a lot of, as Chris says, bronze guys, that could change. But, I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling good. The boys are back on the pitch. Like, it's feeling good. I think
I feel like we already know what the starters are going to look like, more or less, though. You don't think that we know more or less what the starters are going to look like? Almost.
I hope not.
2 or 3. Like, goalkeeper, I think
that's
will change.
yeah. I think goalkeeper. I think left wing. And I'd really love if right back changed, but I don't think it's going to.
And I think Bright might get, replaced in the starting lineup, right? Which I hope it doesn't, but I think he might. But outside of that, Toto, I'm 100% sure he's going to be a starter. Dai Martinez, I think he might end up being, depending on what we get, I guess. Messi, Suarez, Redondo, Busquets, Alba. I think for the most part, we know what this team's going to look like, at least healthy.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think? What's your outlook for 2025?
So I'm kind of reserving judgment because I want to see the next 2-3 weeks of movement. Sean just said, is this on paper, is this team's better than last year? At this point, no, they're essentially pretty much the same. We never made it past the quarterfinals in a single tournament. Now, coaching has been an upgrade, and I think that's a huge part. But on the flip side, the rest of the league is upgrading as well. We're seeing money being spent across the board. I think last year was probably the easiest year we could have won a major tournament. This year, it's going to be that much harder. I am not going to say what I think at this point. I'll revisit in 3 weeks, and we see what the final roster looks like. But
cop out.
No, right, not just that. It's the fact that
is kind of a cop out. He just Homer Simpson into the grass.
We have upgrading coach. Because anyone who's better than Tata. Fine, I'll say it. At this point, I don't see us winning any trophies next year.
Oh, shit. That's colossal.
But you know what? You can't take Mike seriously because I remember my first argument with Mike last year was this team doesn't have a winning culture.
We didn't win. We didn't make it past.
You said
he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong, Daddy.
What's a winning culture?
Remind me about what tournament we made it past the quarterfinals in last year.
Well, we had the best record of any team in the league last year, but I guess it's all perspective. You think winning culture has to be consistently winning trophies then?
No, I actually, I know you're a regular listener to the show, I actually changed my tune on that. I came around and said, no, this team has grit, this has culture, it's built itself up. By the end of the season, actually by 3/4 of the way through the season, I had done the mea culpa, I had taken those words back, and I had more than accepted the winning culture was there. Our team has gotten older. Our big money players are now older. We all made the comment, right? Busquets hasn't gotten any faster. As of now, we have not seen a real upgrade at any position across the pitch, except for Mike V. You better keep this short. We haven't seen any upgrades across the pitch except for coaching, which we believe is probably an upgrade.
I don't think it's an upgrade. I don't know if it's worse, but I'm not gonna say it's an upgrade either.
Well, I don't want to say anything can be better, but fair. So if we don't say there's been no upgrades and we couldn't win a single tournament, last year, and the competition has gotten harder, I think it's hard to say we're going to win a tournament this year.
I asked Matt last week from South Florida Soccer. Now I'll ask you now, Mike. If Brad Guzan doesn't have the 2 games or 3 games of his life, are we MLS champs?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Brad Guzan having 1 game of his life and holding us out, fine, but he did it really on 3 games. Besides one boneheaded move, he was pretty rock solid consistently, and he's by far not the best keeper we are going to see. Do you think you're going to beat LA Galaxy the way they played last year? I don't think you're beating LA Galaxy.
I think we could have. We would have been playing at home. I think we would have beat them. Yeah. And coincidentally, right? Hindsight is 2020. Ricky Puig probably wouldn't have been available.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're doing hypotheticals, I think you probably want to assume that he's going to be there.
That's fine. But the fact that we were playing at home, I think, look, at home, I always feel really confident, unless it's Brad Guzan's bitch ass.
So again, I'll be Debbie Downer. I can't even keep up with all the comments. Eventually, I knew the crowd was going to turn on me. But until we see upgrades, I'm going with we're not winning a trophy. Let's get some upgrades and we'll win some trophies.
Chris?
Don't cop out, man.
So somebody commented that this roster we have is a powerhouse.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to cop.
Like this roster is not a powerhouse. Like we're still missing like 7-8 players to sign. I mean, I don't want to go as far-fetched as like Mike is saying where we're not going to win trophies. I do think that we're going to be successful. I don't think we're going to have this. I don't think we're going to have a better roster than we had last season. But I feel optimistic about it. I mean, at some point, somebody's going to come out with the Mascherano is out the first game we lose.
Oh, we lose on Friday. People are going to start saying it.
Yeah.
It'll be Mike V. 100%.
No, Mike V's locked in. Forget about it. Mike V is
now.
Completely.
Just
he
wait.
has no other choice but to lock in on Mascherano. Like Dennis Lopez is now carrying the torch.
I'll put money that we win Champions Cup this year.
Wow.
I'm that confident. I think we're going to win Champions Cup this year. Absolutely.
I mean, you are literally high.
They gave us the easiest path all the way to the semifinal. We literally played against. Look, I don't want to. Look, I don't know the Cavalier from Jamaica team. I don't know them at all. I would hope that Inter Miami could beat that team. KC
Danny, let me ask
has gotten
you
worse,
a question.
and they were the worst team in the league last year, second worst.
Can I ask you a question, Danny? Because I'm not gonna. It's an informed take, but if I tell you we're gonna hold a DP spot for Neymar until summer, and so we're gonna be short that spot, and we're gonna give up. Because that's my theory of cut.
But that means we're gonna have 4 U22 basically DPs, right?
No, that's what I don't think you can switch. I don't think you can switch
mid-season. Mid-season, of course you can. We did last year. Yeah,
I think you lock in. I think you lock in after the summer window.
For the transfer window, right? At every transfer window, you get to change because other opportunities present themselves.
I thought it was you only got to do it last year because that was with the start of it. But from that point forward, it was at the beginning of the year you had to choose.
Listen, if we want it, the league will change the rule.
That is true. That is a good point. Fair point.
If we're gonna get Neymar, the league is gonna say, "Oh, well, we agreed on this last May, but we didn't."
But let me hold the hypothetical of if we're gonna be short a DP all summer, so we can hold Neymar because I do think it. Do you think we can win short a player? We have the team today that can win CCC.
Yeah. I absolutely. I do think we can win the CCC. The only thing, look, for one, you know what I think? I think Messi's gonna kick Monterrey's ass. Because in the semifinal, there's a good chance we play either Monterrey or Pumas if we make it that far, right? Let me say if we make it that far. But I think after what happened with Monterrey last year, you think Messi doesn't have that in the back of his mind? I'm excited to see that. I'm hoping. I already had I forgot his name, Chris. Our guest from Monterrey, Eddie. I think his name's Eddie. He's already messaging me saying that he's waiting for that semifinal game to come on the show so we can talk shit to each other. Like, that's the game. And then we go to the final after. Champions Cup, to me, is something that I expect us to win. And MLS Cup, I also expect us to win. I expect us to win those 2 trophies. I'm not worried about the Supporters Shield. I'm not worried about the Club World Cup because I don't think that's a pipe dream. But I do expect us to win the Champions Cup and the MLS Cup. I do think we're going to leave with those 2 trophies, and that's how we're going to send off Chase Stadium.
Real quick, clubs must declare their roster construction path at the start of every season, so you cannot switch. Just so you're right. So to just fill that in, that's from MLS's website.
All right. Well, we buy down Boosie in the summer, and bam, there you go.
They'll figure it out.
You can't buy down $8 million.
I'm not worried about it.
You want to watch what we sell Drake for to the league?
I'm not worried about it.
No, but Danny, you've kind of convinced me on this. I think I'm going to buy into that theory as well with CCC because the way the preseason's lined up, it's like you're playing 4 CCC games away from home. You know, this is the healthiest the team is going to be. We're going to have all the pieces.
Let me see if I still have it here. Absolutely. Is it here? Look at this draw that they gave us. They gave us the second worst team in the league last year that if you look at their offseason, hasn't improved. If anything, they've gotten worse. They lost Pulido, even though he's always injured. And then we go to Jamaica. Again, no disrespect to them. I have no idea about this team, but I would hope that Inter Miami's roster can beat the Jamaican champions. And then after that, we have another MLS team, either the Rapids, LAFC, or Columbus. I'm sorry. We could beat any MLS team. Columbus is overrated. LAFC, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're selling everybody. They haven't brought anybody in. And Colorado's Colorado. And then we go to the semifinal against either Monterrey or Pumas. I'm sorry. I'm feeling them. I think that we're going to be CCC champs. And hopefully we play America in the final. So we could go and talk shit to them also, since we're going to have them on the show on Thursday.
Danny, I'm in.
Danny, I see your logic. I'm not arguing the logic. I hope
we're
for the best.
We're in the only quarter that doesn't have any Mexican teams. Literally.
Yeah.
That wasn't a mistake. They won us in the final.
Yeah, but you know what you're doing though. You're like season schedule release, and you're just giving dubs everywhere because you just love your team. That's what you're doing.
Chris, I literally just told you why we could beat these teams.
Yeah, but what about the whole other? What about the whole other side? There's a whole other side to this bracket.
That's the final. That's one game.
Okay.
There's logic here. I'm not arguing the logic.
Yeah.
We have the easiest path. We still got to win every game, though.
Everyone,
Absolutely.
Danny.
Absolutely.
You still got to win.
Keep David Ruiz off. Keep David Ruiz off in the CCC because, you know.
Yeah, don't let him play CCC. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Keep him home.
I wanted to dive deep into the kid talk, but we are running late for the Spanish show, which was supposed to start 3 minutes ago. So real quick, let me just talk because Mike said that he wanted us to be an hour flat today anyway. So, Mike, do you really think that this is the worst kit in history? Because when I was listening to your show last week, that was me in the car. I was like, what? I couldn't articulate words because it made no sense to me.
I do, because there is no kit that had less Inter Miami flavor than this kit. This kit is the most generic kit coming from Adidas. Like, hey, we have a whole bunch of these black and gray kits lying around. Let's plaster a logo on them and sell them. There's not a single thing on this kit that's
it says freedom to dream
Miami.
on the collar.
Actually, if you actually look at what they said this is representing Fort Lauderdale. Moss Brothers hate Fort Lauderdale so much, they literally went out of their way to make the crappiest kit they could create. I agree with Branton. The only way it could have been worse if they'd gone vertical down this split color thing. But no, there's nothing here that's and I don't hate it because it's a bad look. It's not a horrible looking kit, but it's so anti-Miami, anti-Inter Miami, anti any of this. Like, yes, it's the worst kit we've ever done.
So what
Mike,
you're
how
telling
can
me
you
is
say
that
that?
you would have preferred it to just have another palm tree, like another palma, like palma and noche. Those two kits were basically identical.
I loved them both.
Oh, you're so
Great kits. Yeah,
No, they were nice kits.
La
I like the
Noche
detail though,
is the
Danny.
best kit we ever had. La Noche.
the palm was beautiful. The palm kit imprints, yes. A black and gray
Those are
kit that
nice
has
details,
nothing.
Danny. You can't hate that.
Listen,
you can't,
Mike,
you can't
That's
deny that.
quality.
I think the gray on the new kit represents the yellow lot, and then the black is the paved green and blue lots. So I think that's the salute to Fort Lauderdale.
So-
It's basically
so the gray-
saying,
so
"Come
you
and
were
get
saying
your
that-
park."
The gray is the park that was never built,
Yes,
and the black is where all the rich people park. Gotcha.
because the park is sitting in the gray area.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
part of this
it-
dream Inter Miami.
Mm.
All.
Mr. Krabs asked me to show the kit, but actually, I thought I had the picture up here.
Well,
I don't have it.
Well, I guess while you look for that, it does have the
I'm not gonna
freedom
look
to
for it.
dream. It does have the freedom to
The
dream.
freedom to
on the
dream.
collar.
That is, and I said it on the show last night. The freedom to dream, the collar, and black on black, so it's shadowed out, is the one cool detail of the kit. It's like the one thing that I called out, like, I like this part. But how is black on black Miami?
But you know,
At all.
I've never thought of that, and this is the first time I hear it, and I guess it kind of makes sense that you need your kit to have something that has to do with the city. Like
Yeah.
you rather have like a picture of a croqueta on there, then you're like, oh, it makes sense. I like it. Like I just thought that it's a cool design. Like I never thought that it had to symbolize Miami somehow. At some point, you're gonna run out of things.
But I get that. But
Apparently we already have.
If we were a 50-year-old club where you have design details that you want to have consistently through your kit, and like I get like a Man U kit does not in any way represent probably Man U, or maybe it does, and I just don't know the history. But if there's historical precedents, I get it. We don't have historical precedents, so our kit should somehow represent the city, the team, something. This kit represents a parking lot, maybe.
I just thought that it looked cool. I don't know. I love the design. I thought that it was different. I was so tired of La Noche and La Palmas. I was upset when I saw, was it La Noche that came after? I was like, why on earth? Look, that's a nice, cool, and clean
You know what
new
this
look.
looks like?
You could
It
put
looks
any
like-
team's logo on it and be the same.
That's fine. And any
it
team would look
looks-
fresh with it.
It looks like somebody said, "Oh, I really like the Nashville Johnny Cash kit. How can we make it worse?" And that's what they did.
I don't remember the Johnny Cash kit.
Johnny Cash kit was cool. 'Cause
The
it
Johnny
had-
Cash
It
kit.
made sense for Nashville.
Yeah.
And then I see where you're going with it.
It
Like
does
it's not
make
a
sense,
bad
Matt.
kit. It doesn't make a bad kit in like in a vacuum. If my son's soccer team showed up with this kit, I'm like, that's a cool kit, guys. You guys got like kind of cool looking kit. But
How does this represent Johnny Cash?
because he's
You
got
got
a
to look
nickname
at
that
all the
makes sense.
details. Click through the details. There's like 5 or 6 different call outs to Johnny Cash. It's pretty cool. Originally, when I was on
It has
another
a
podcast,
signature
I
on
said
it.
it
Get outta
sucked,
here.
but
I do think that this is not the worst kit though.
What's the worst kit?
The
The
worst
one we
kit
had
is
last year.
the Mame color kit that we
The
had
pink,
last year.
at least the pink kit was pink and tried to represent Inter Miami. Like we're the
No,
only
that's
team
not
running
pink.
around. That's not the one we had.
No,
Unfortunately,
that was
No,
fake
this one was better. This
yeah,
one
that was better. I agree.
Yeah.
But at least it was pink. At least it was represented Miami. At least it had some. I had come, again, another mea culpa. I've come to agree the pink kit up until last year was the worst kit we had. I'd said that on my show. Branton beat me up so much I finally gave in to him. But then Miami
'cause
made a worse kit.
it means a lot for me to say that this black kit is the worst kit we ever had because I hate that pink kit from last year. I bought it, I wore it once, and I hated myself for wearing it.
Awful.
I refuse to buy. This will be the first kit I do not buy.
I will
it is
tell you
so
the pink kit was the first kit I buy way too many kits. It was the first time I only owned one version of a kit. Like I have I think 6 or 8 heartbeat kits for one reason or another. That pink kit I only bought one of.
Heartbeat
This
was our
kit-
bet. Heartbeat
It was our
pretty
best.
good. Yeah.
This kit I bought one purely because I own one kit from every season, and Joker and I went to the store to buy it, and even as I'm buying it, I'm going, I don't even want to buy this, except I have to.
That's wild. You know, out of all the kits that since 2020, I think I've worn this one the most, and I've only owned it for what, like less than a month. I got it for Christmas.
I haven't even worn it.
So I've had it for like 3 weeks, and I've worn it 5 or 6 times already. Like, I love this kit.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Someone called out the original.
Have good taste.
I like this one. I want to see the final, but I'm excited for this one. I think this might be our best kit. That's my current thinking.
Not best, but I like it also.
Color pink is going to be always number one forever.
Yeah. I think the heartbeat for many reasons.
Clean.
For
it's
many reasons.
Clean.
Yeah.
It was our first ever pink kit. And I think Steve Munoz said that with black shorts, I think with black shorts that would look even cleaner.
Yeah. I like it. I'm excited. This kit I'm really excited for. Someone called up, by the way, the white kit, the original white kit from season 1. When that'll always be remembered as the see-through kit. And for that reason alone, it's a great kit.
Yeah.
Because you got an ounce of sweat on it. You saw everything.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. As far as the texture, it was shiny. Like, it was, I don't know. It was just weird.
It was a weird one, but still better than the black one we got this year.
You're a crazy person. Are you looking forward to the blue and white Argentina jersey we're going to have in the summer?
We basically have that with the pink one.
No, we don't. It's all the same
Has anyone Argentina kit in pink?
Has no, but
I think it's an Atlanta pick kit.
The rumored third kit there hasn't been a leak on yet, has there?
Yes,
no, but they let us know that it was going to be
a blue.
No, they didn't give us a leak of what it looked like.
I'll hold off.
Yeah,
I'll hold off judgment. I want to see a leak. I love.
If you guys haven't already, make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you go follow Inter Miami Show, subscribe to their channel, and in a couple of minutes we're gonna start our Spanish show, Las Garzas. That's right, we're calling it Las Garzas CF now. So make sure that you check that out. We'll be on with Xavier and Solana couldn't join us today, so Matt from South Florida Soccer from last week is gonna make his Spanish debut with us in a couple minutes. So make sure that you join us in a couple minutes. But before we do that, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Inter Miami, Mike and Branton. Any final words, Mike? And let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already.
Yeah, no, we're at Inter Miami Show. We have all the socials. Our boy Joe Kerr runs that all for us. Make sure to like and subscribe. Basically, it's just me and Branton arguing for the majority of the show, with Branton being right more often than I am. Guys, appreciate you having us on. Had a blast tonight.
Yeah, always. I love it. Thanks, guys.
Brandon, no gas bagging. Look, I offered Mike and Brandon to come on a show on a day that we didn't have a Spanish show afterwards, and Mike said no. I want to keep it to an hour. So blame Mike for the no gas bagging. I am so sorry.
We were prepared to go 3 hours. We were going to go for the record again.
but Mike said no. Brandon, any final words?
No, just thanks for having us on. Thanks to everybody in the chat for the love and the hate towards Mike. I always love it. Please, if you can, join us.
That was mostly hate towards Danny tonight.
Mike.
I saw a lot more Danny hates than Mike hates tonight, and I appreciated it.
Chris is a man of the people. He makes people hate me.
Yeah. He's got the pulse of the people.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. He knows how to rile them up.
Chris, any final words before we out here, before we start talking? And I don't think people realize how difficult it is that Chris and I talk to each other in English in this show, and in like 5 minutes we'll be talking to each other in Spanish. It's a little more difficult than people realize.
I want all of you guys just to do me a favor. I want you guys to count. Put your hand out like this. Put your hand out like this real quick, okay? And I want you guys to count. You too, Danny. What the fuck? You're not excluded from this. And I want you to count to 3 when I tell you, okay? Ready? 1.
Wait, what are we doing?
Count to 3. No, put your finger back up, Mike. Look at how you and Danny and I counted with your finger like this, and Branton is like that. I didn't even know until I started helping my youngest daughter with math that she counts number 1 with her thumb. How weird is that?
1, 2, 3.
Danny does that too. When he counts, he's like, "Oh, we got one deal." It's usually with the index finger.
I mean, right? I don't normally count like this, but I normally like 1, 2.
Is this your new toast question for 2025? You're not going to ask about toast. You're just going to make your people show how to count.
Yeah, well, yeah, because think about it. It's really weird. People start counting with their thumb. That's usually the 5.
But not like that. Like you're normally like that. You know?
Well, yeah, but why are you counting with why is the thumb first?
Well, because when you're doing like this, I do it all the time. Actually, if you watch the show back, whenever I'm counting down, I always throw like this. And that's why the stupid thumbs up thing always pops up. But you told me to go like this. And when you go like this, I'm going to throw my index finger first.
Well, that's that's something that
and if you play baseball, you're going to do this when you're counting to 2, right? So that people in the outfield don't mistake it.
I also was going to show something that I saw online about
you're gonna no.
Why not?
Thing?
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna do that now. It's gonna take up a lot of time. I mean, I could if you want me to.
No,
I loaded it up already.
No, we could do it.
I mean, Chad, do I bring it up? You don't even know what I'm gonna bring up, Chad. Do I bring it?
That'll keep us here for another 15 minutes.
I mean, look, let's just see what the chat says. Give him like 20 seconds. Just let him cook. Let him cook. Let me see. Should I bring it up? Yes or no? Look, first message.
I want to see it. Now I want to see it. Don't tease me.
I gotta know.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently I ran into something online. So it must be true. Look, you don't know that, Danny. I saw it on the internet. Okay. So there's this letter that was apparently written.
The dress was blue and gold, for the record.
There was a letter that was written at a high school for the students, and I'll read. It's a masturbation notice. And it says, Dear McQueen High School students and staff, it has come to our attention that students have been vigorously masturbating in the school bathrooms. Masturbating on school property is illegal and against school district policy.
What's the question you're going to ask here? Like, have I masturbated in a school bathroom? Is that where we're going with this?
That is not where I'm going. But this is an amazing letter that was written, right? I mean, it is real because it was on the internet.
Not real.
And it says here that the bathroom pipes are not designed to handle human discharge, right? And there's extreme buildup, right? That costs thousands of dollars from our funds to repair the damage. And they're requesting them to masturbate in their homes.
And they're going to collect and do DNA, and they're going to do DNA testing on it, apparently.
I mean, that's incredible. What kind of high school is this, Danny? You should be working at this high school. You kidding
Absolutely
me?
Not.
They're
I was gonna say,
DNA.
Danny would be the expert on this. Like,
I mean,
is this something an assistant principal would write?
Absolutely no chance that this is even half real. No way.
But Chris, again, what's the question? Like, what does this lead?
I just wanted to put it up. I just wanted to show
it.
this. I just wanted to be I just wanted to be a class clown here and just put.
I love the vigorously masturbating. Like,
as soon as I read things, as soon as I read that, I already knew it was fake. Like, come on.
And then, yes, 111 goal. That is my letter to Gomez.
The Chase Stadium pipes could not handle the discharge.
Maybe this is the real reason Tata had to be let go.
Yeah.
We're keeping Matt and Xavier waiting, so we're gonna get out of here. If you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you watch on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And for those of you in the chat, as always, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour and 18 minutes. Look, Mike said he didn't want to go over an hour, and he kept us over an hour anyway. And
whoa,
we will be back.
Chris is to blame.
I did that.
Chris,
I did that.
Well,
but at the end, it's Danny's fault.
Last 3 minutes. And
Chris, you
and
better translate that to Spanish for the Spanish episode.
I'm gonna try my best.
We'll be back tomorrow night with Alex Windley. She's gonna be joining us to talk some Herons. So make sure you join us tomorrow night. And until the next one. Oh yeah, make sure that you join us in Spanish. Las Garzas in like 5 minutes. So until the next one, have a good one.